It had been years since Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, found herself in the middle of royal chaos. Yet here she was again, dragged back into the headlines over an old email that no one expected to see again. The message, allegedly sent to Jeffrey Epstein, the disgraced financier and convicted sex offender long linked to her ex-husband, Prince Andrew, painted a very different picture from the one Fergie had shown the public. In that resurfaced email, the Duchess called Epstein her supreme friend and steadfast support. The tone was warm, almost affectionate, a shocking contrast to her earlier public stance, where she had condemned him and vowed to cut all ties. The contradiction was explosive. To a public already skeptical of royal apologies and reinventions, it raised the same old questions about her judgment, her honesty, and her ability to avoid scandal. The backlash was swift. Julia's House, a children's hospice that once proudly counted the Duchess as a patron, announced she was no longer welcome. The charity said it would be inappropriate to continue their association. Fergie's team tried to explain, claiming the email wasn't what it appeared to be, that she had written it under duress, terrified that Epstein was planning to sue her for defamation. According to her spokesman, she had been bedridden with fear and wrote the email to placate him, not praise him, but that explanation barely slowed the outrage. To many, this wasn't just about one email. It was a pattern. For decades, Sarah Ferguson had been both a royal cautionary tale and a tabloid favorite, a woman constantly balancing sympathy and scandal. Viewers still remembered the cash for access sting, the public admissions, the near bankruptcies, and the endless comebacks. Depending on who you asked, she was either a misunderstood woman with terrible luck, or a duchess who never learned from her mistakes, and this time, the timing couldn't have been worse. Prince Andrew's reputation was already in tatters. His royal titles gone, his public life erased, every move connected to the Yorks was under scrutiny. So when Sarah's long-buried email emerged, the damage rippled straight through Windsor. Even if her motives had been self-protection, the words, "my supreme friend," landed like a blow. Her spokesman kept repeating that she'd been trying to calm a threat, not rekindle a friendship. But the British public, hardened by years of palace PR, didn't buy it. If she had truly cut ties, why reach out at all? Why use such adoring language? The explanations sounded too neat, too rehearsed. It didn't help that her past financial troubles were no secret. After her divorce, Fergie had struggled to maintain her lifestyle, publishing children's books, launching wellness ventures, endorsing diet plans, yet always seeming just one bad decision away from another headline. She'd been caught accepting money from Epstein before, claiming later it was a huge error in judgment. She'd sworn to repay every penny and never speak to him again. Then came this email, apologetic, grateful, almost reverent. To critics, it confirmed what they'd always suspected, that the Duchess had a knack for trusting the wrong people when she needed money. The fallout spread fast. More charities quietly distanced themselves. News anchors replayed the same clips of her scandals past, toe-sucking photos, financial desperation, and PR disasters that felt like déjà vu. The British tabloids, naturally, had a field day, and while Fergie tried to carry on, attending royal events with Prince Andrew, posting motivational quotes about forgiveness and courage, the silence from Buckingham Palace was deafening. There was no statement of support, no defense, no reassurance from King Charles. With Andrew already exiled from royal duties, the palace clearly wanted to avoid even the faintest whiff of another York-related mess. Behind the polished smiles, insiders whispered that patience had worn thin. Royal Lodge, the Windsor home Sarah and Andrew still shared, was becoming a sore point, expensive to maintain and awkwardly symbolic of their refusal to fade quietly. With the monarchy trying to modernize its image, another round of York drama was the last thing Charles needed. Still, Sarah Ferguson did what she always does: smile through the storm. She spoke about healing, redemption, and kindness, calm this time, almost weary. Gone were the emotional confessions and frantic apologies of years past. This time, she seemed resigned, even philosophical, as if she knew some stains never wash out, Whether you saw her as a survivor or a scandal magnet, one thing was clear: Fergie's past had returned again to test her present. The Duchess of York, forever loyal to her ex-husband, forever chasing redemption, found herself once more in the uneasy space between public sympathy and royal scandal. And as always, the world was watching to see whether she would finally rise above it, or repeat the same painful cycle all over again.